Hello, hello, everybody. This is When Church Lets Out with your girl, Christian Joy, on the Go Radio, empowering the voice of community and change. Today, I just want to talk to the ladies today, just to encourage you, to push you forward, try to help you with some of the things that I've learned going over the course of these 21 years of living. This talk pretty much started with me when I was young, but it has developed, and I just hope that I can be an encouragement and help some of our ladies out. So those of us who really talking to the young ladies who are single, we have a big challenge in life sometimes because we get to see our friends and family members, they are doing well, and we see a lot of them, married in great relationships, and we long for that. I would be lying to say if I didn't long to have someone with me and not be, I guess, single anymore. But at the same time, I know there's a great responsibility before, during, in the process, I'll say till death do you part, that we have to go through. And I just want to talk about the before aspect of getting into relationships and continue on with life while you have a significant other. One thing for us ladies, we should always remember, especially those of us in the body of Christ, that we have to keep God first. He comes first in our life, no matter what. It doesn't matter how long you've been saved, if you're newly saved, if you're getting there, God is ministering to your heart. If you've been saved 10 plus years and still single, God still comes first. And I believe that we got to put him back in the forefront. Because so many times we get going with life, and I think sometimes we don't really take advantage of who he is. Sometimes I think we try to do this alone, but he's here to help us. So keeping God first is a huge thing. And then while being single, taking care of yourself and enjoying your freedoms, I say, and that's something I'll hit on a little later, but just enjoying being with yourself. I think sometimes we get so focused on, well, everybody else is in a relationship, so I need to get in one too, where we don't let ourselves enjoy being alone, being not tied down. It's not a bad thing to be in a relationship and things like that, but being single has the advantage of you don't have to answer to like anyone, really. You can do what you need to do. No one's calling you up. What you doing? Why you out late? Why you spending time with me? It's not that, you can enjoy your free time a little more. And even in relationships, so folks will still say, I still have free time. But I can only speak for myself and encourage you to enjoy this time of being with yourself. And then when God sends him, amen. And that's always a great thing. I have many friends who can testify that God blessed them with a great spouse, a great significant other. And I know it was a process. You don't just jump into anything. And that's another thing we'll talk about. But I believe God first, you second, men will keep them to the side until God says it's time. And so one thing that I want us ladies to remember is that we are very powerful individuals. We have so many great ideas and things that we want to do with life. We're very ambitious. We're very outgoing. A lot of us are sociable. And then we have others who may not be as sociable. They're more quiet and reserved, but they're still go-getters. They still handle their business. And so when it comes to, I guess, the single life and everyday life, we have to make sure before rushing into relationships and even friendships, that we are together, that we are truly following after God. Those of us who have been saved for a little time now, truly walking in our purpose, whatever God is giving you to do, inside and outside of the four walls of the building we call church, but we know that we are the church. Just walking in your calling, truly making sure that God is the forefront. I know for myself, I never want to get so far ahead in life and get so well known to where I start to forget about God. I never want to enter into something, whether it be a partnership, a relationship, a job, a career, even school, where it's going to take me away, like totally away from God, and make me forget about Him. Because without Him, we wouldn't be here. So just truly walking in your purpose. And then we have to be active. Being single, that's our time to accomplish goals, go to school. Some of us, as myself, pursuing careers and jobs, and just truly trying to make a name for ourselves and do it right, going to school and picking up a trade and working while we're waiting on God to send the right one. Is not a bad thing, because after I can attest being told, after a while getting in relationships, getting married, your time is divided, so you don't always get to finish the thing that you want to. You don't always get to go back to it immediately. So in this time of being single and not having a significant other at the time, you can truly focus on yourself a little more, and nothing is really taken away from that. And I just encourage all of us, young ladies, even if you're a little older, doesn't matter, that you go after your dreams and truly ask God to help you while you are single, while you are not in the dating realm, to accomplish some goals. I always try to have the mindset, no matter where I am in my life, I want to accomplish something. I want to achieve at being the very best. I can remember a few years ago, I had the motto on my life that I want to live life without regret. I don't want to continue to live life and continue to, I should have did this. Why did I do that? I shouldn't have made that mistake. Why did I throw in the towel? Why didn't I go after that? I never want to continue in that same pattern, living life with regret. I shouldn't have done this. But truly asking God for a mindset, Lord, help me to stay on the right path. Help me to accomplish whatever I need to accomplish, to feel successful, to feel like I'm doing something for me and for my family. You don't have to be selfish while being single. You can still do for others, but it's just one of those things. It's very gratifying when you accomplish something. You and God just accomplish something and do great things. I have a lot of my friends out here. They're just doing big things, whether it's in fashion or in ministry. And I see them and I want to do the same thing. I want to, it's not about being seen and having my name in lights, but it's about truly ministering and going after those things which God has imparted in me. I know, although I'm going to school to be a doctor and go into medicine, there's just side things that I know that God has given me with having my own flyer business, where I create flyers and invitations for different services, whether it's church or even like birthday parties, or if an event is happening, I can do those things. God has given me that. I've always loved being on the computers. So there's always little things like that that God gives us, those gifts and talents, even singing and dancing or whatever you do, whatever God has given you. Those, I don't say, for me, that's not a huge talent or something I want to go after, but at the same time, something I can do while I am in the process of waiting for my future husband. I say future husband because I think, our mindset is a little different. We say, I want a boyfriend. No, at this stage of my life, I'm 21, and so yes, I'm still young, but I'm over that stage. It's like the next time I date, I'm in the mindset now. I want to be in the process of dating my future husband, because so many times we're getting older now. We're too old to continue to keep playing these games with each other. Like, you don't know what you want to do. I don't know what I want to do. Or indecisive. I'd rather us just be friends and just accomplishing goals and truly seeking after God and doing what God has told you to do than to, waste each other's time. I believe that as us as young ladies, we have to remember that there's so much that we can do with and without having a significant other. And so we take into account what God has given us, imparted into our lives, and we go and do those things and be powerful and be great. But I know that it's not always, every woman's first thing. Oh, I want a man. But we sometimes ask ourselves, like, why am I still single? Or when is it going to be my turn? I can attest to sometimes asking myself that because, I'm 21 and some say, as I said, that's young, you're young. But I sometimes look at what my other friends are doing and they're married or they're in relationships. So sometimes we get in that mode of competition, but it's not a competition. We are not in competition with our sisters. You move as God moves you. Don't be in a rush, because you be in a rush, you get into a relationship. He can be like the worst person ever, or he could have been the best one, but it wasn't the right time. So timing is always key. And God will show you when is your time. And don't be so anxious. Sometimes we get so anxious, like, oh, like I'm 30, when's he coming? And there's even some, I would say, mother age women that still like looking like, God, where he at? And, I was thinking of a few, actually last night, it's like there are times where I think we get a little impatient, and God is just trying to show us that, you're going to be okay. You're not going to die if you don't get married. You're not going to fall out if the significant other doesn't come within a few years. Because I know for myself, I can only speak for myself and hope this encourages you, that when you're so anxious or you really want something that may not be in the plans of God, it doesn't always pan out. I can give the testimony, being in college, that's a true testing ground for what you're ready for and what you're not ready for. I could have really messed up because I thought I was strong enough to be in a relationship and handle the necessary things that goes into it, plus deal with school and different things in the ministry. But I quickly found out that was just me feeling that way, and God wasn't in that. And so it went south really quickly. And I just thank God that he brought me out of that situation, because, I could have been one of those saved girls, but she doing this and that. And I never want to ever put myself in that place again of making it seem like I'm compromising everything that I know just for a quick fling, or just for just to say I have someone. That should never be our goal. Our goal in life should be to please God and to wait on him. Even I think about Ruth and Naomi, and Ruth's husband died. And so now you're in that, okay, she's lost. She was married. She's lost her husband. And so I can only imagine what she felt. But Naomi, and that's why I think it's very important for us ladies to get a Naomi in our life, she stayed under her. Ruth stayed under Naomi and learned of her. And she saw the God in her to the point where she went on with her. And Naomi was a wise woman, so she helped Ruth to understand, the tools and things to be successful and to eventually, receive the blessing of the Lord. She got married again. But I said that all to say that Ruth was taught to be active, work. And in this time of singleness, I feel like we should do the same thing. Be active and work. And knowing when to take a break and enjoy. Travel. See the world in your singleness. Hang out with with some of your girls, get together and talk and encourage one another. I think sometimes we so on, I need a man, where we stop talking with each other about how they're feeling or what's the next step in life. I think if we switch our focus a little bit and go with what's going on right at that moment, then I think we'd be okay. And just when you are working and doing what you need to do for God, God will bless you. He really will. I can attest to this. Just thinking on last year, just different things, and even graduated from high school, I just stayed committed to God. And I was like, okay, Lord, I'm my will is your will. And when I was walking in the Lord's will, things were happening. It's when we step out and try to make things go our way to the point where things don't work out. So I just want to encourage you ladies to just stay encouraged and continue to stay committed to God. And one thing I know is true is that, it's not our job to look. It's not our job to seek after him necessarily. It's our job to seek after God, pray, and be specific with God of what you desire in your future husband. Because I believe at this point, at this stage in some of you all's life, you're done with these little boyfriends, these little side notes. You're done with that. You are ready to be married and have children. And so I believe that we need to be specific with God with what we want in our singleness and trust that he will bless us with that. And I say this, don't be so desperate to have a man that you will lower your standards just for anyone. I believe that us as women of God, we don't have to lower our standards, because God never lowered his standards for us. It was always holiness with God, and it always will be. And for us, we should have our standards high. And I believe that God can bless you with the man that you ask for. And I know this too. When it comes to us in the body of Christ, he must be saved. But not only that, but truly, truly in the will of God. And you know them. God knows us by our fruits. And you should know him or her or them by their fruits. And ask God, especially if you see someone that you like, us ladies. It's like, okay, Lord, I see him and he looks nice, but Lord, I'm not going to chase after him. But Lord, if he be the one, or if that's someone that I should talk to, then you work it out. But don't you just be running over there being fast. Let God lead you. And I just pray that us as ladies, we will just truly be steadfast and truly seek after God. Continue to be active. And I know that you won't be for nothing. God will bless you. And I just hope that I've encouraged you. There will be a part 2 with this, but I just want to say that quick note, encourage you to keep going. Don't fret, don't worry, don't be anxious, because God will bless you. This has been When Church Lets Out with your girl Christian Joy on the Go Radio, empowering the voice of community and change. Until next time, God bless.